Okay, jumping right in. Today, we're taking a focused deep dive into the profile of a specific digital marketing agency. Based in Melbourne, Australia, a company called Xugar.
Right, and our dive is based on this detailed report we've been looking through, covers their history, services, some, pretty interesting client stories, and how they see the market.
Exactly. So our mission really is to pull out the key insights from this report, understand what makes them tick, why their approach seems, well, effective,
hmm
and crucially for you listening, what can we learn from them about navigating digital marketing?
What does this report maybe tell us about choosing a partner or just getting a handle on the digital world right now?
And we found some really compelling stuff in there. Their human-first philosophy, this whole one-stop shop idea.
And some genuinely eye-popping results for clients, like, what was it, 2,500% organic traffic growth?
Yeah,
That definitely jumped out.
we should absolutely dig into that. And also their thinking on the big shifts like the
Yeah.
cookieless future. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Xugar, founded 2017, Melbourne, by Xugar Sethi. What does the report say about his background? Seems pretty central.
Well, yeah, what's striking is his personal story. Apparently, arrived in Australia 2006 with very limited resources, built things up from scratch.
Right.
And that journey, that resilience, it really seems to inform the company's foundation, its values.
It's quite a story.
Mm.
Coming from that start to, leading an agency, the report says, is doing around $1 million in annual revenue now.
Yeah.
Feels like more than just backstory.
It does, yeah, and you see it reflected in what they call their human-first approach. SETI talks about it as like genuine partnership, ethical transparency, focusing on delivering real value, not just, superficial metrics.
That focus on transparency sounds key, especially in an industry that can sometimes feel a bit opaque.
Seems to be a core differentiator, aiming to build that trust right away. And alongside that, they position themselves as this comprehensive one-stop shop for digital growth, always stressing measurable data-backed results, sustainable growth for clients.
Okay, so let's get a quick snapshot of Xugar now. Headquarters in Melbourne, still?
Yep, Melbourne, Victoria. And they work with over 200 clients, both Australian and international.
Quite a mix of industries, too, based on the report. B2B, e-commerce, legal, healthcare. It's diverse.
Exactly. And the client list has some big names, University of Melbourne, Subway, ANZ, plus others like PowerCrank, UltraTune, Office Choice, suggest they handle different scales, different complexities.
And team size, the report mentioned.
Between 10 and 49 employees. But what's
Mhm.
interesting is the structure within that size. They've clearly got departments, specific leadership roles.
Right, like heads of paid ads, product management, sales, client management, SEO manager, growth strategist.
Yeah, people like Lamea Lakdawala for paid ads, Agnes Nathania in product, Dine in sales, Sanskriti Dhingra for clients, Dion Go as growth strategist, Amit Joswal managing SEO. Even for a team under 50, that structure suggests, real expertise in each area.
So specialists, not just generalists, which must be vital for that integrated service promise, right? Making sure SEO clicks with PPC and the website supports it all.
That seems to be the idea. To make that all under one roof thing actually work effectively, aiming for synergy across channels.
Speaking of all under one roof, let's talk about the services in this one-stop shop. Why is that model appealing?
Well, the appeal is pretty clear, isn't it? Lots of businesses find it a real headache managing, like one agency for SEO, another for Google Ads, maybe someone else for the website.
Yeah, sounds messy and probably inefficient.
Totally. Things get disconnected. So Xugar aims to solve that by bringing it all together. Their core services include, well, definitely SEO.
I like SEO's core.
Yeah, and they cover the lot. General, e-commerce, enterprise, national, local, even consulting, always focused on tangible stuff, rankings, traffic, sales, data-driven.
And Google Ads, PPC.
Yep, managing general campaigns, display, shopping, remarketing. Again, the focus is ROI, trying to help clients, get ahead of their competitors.
Their web design and development list look pretty long, too.
It is quite extensive. General sites, e-commerce on platforms like Shopify, WordPress, Magento, BigCommerce, custom builds, WooCommerce, iOS apps, integrations. They really emphasize data-driven design, making sure sites work hard as business hubs, not just look good.
Social media marketing's in there as well.
LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, focusing on consistent messaging, brand image, and driving actual conversions or sales.
And they even do photography and video production.
That's right, yeah. Premium visual contact services. Recognizing how crucial good photos and videos are now for engagement, for telling that brand story online.
I also saw the report mention they offer some free tools.
They do. Things like a ROAS calculator, schema maker, SEO competitor analysis, ROI calculator, break-even calculator, QR maker, SEO audit tool. Resources businesses can just use. Fits that human-first idea of providing value up front, maybe.
So the big picture goal of bundling all these services is a more joined-up, powerful strategy.
Precisely. When your SEO informs your content and your website's built for your ad campaigns and social media amplifies it all, that integration should lead to better results, higher ROI, and just a smoother ride for the client.
Okay, let's get to the proof. Client success stories. The report had some impressive examples. What's the overall vibe on client satisfaction?
It seems really high, consistently getting average ratings like 4.7 to 4.9 stars on Semrush, Google Maps across over 100 reviews, and 4.6 on Clutch from nearly 100. That's a strong pattern.
And what are clients consistently saying they like?
Professionalism, definitely responsiveness. And a key thing that keeps popping up their knack for explaining complex digital stuff in layman's terms.
Why do you think that layman's terms point comes up so often?
Because digital marketing is packed with jargon, right?
Yeah.
It can be really intimidating. If an agency can clearly say, here's what we're doing, here's why, here's what the results mean, it builds huge trust, demystifies it for the business owner, makes them feel part of it.
Empowers them. Okay, let's hit those case studies. Eastlink Espresso, the coffee machine guys.
That's the one with those huge growth numbers. E-commerce client, Xugar's SEO work got them 2,500% growth in organic traffic, over 10,000 sessions across 3 years. But maybe even more remarkable was the initial jump.
How quick was that?
Just 4 months, apparently. Went from about 120 visits to over 1,200.
Wow, a 10x increase in 4 months. That's pretty fast. What drives that kind of initial surge typically?
Well, the report doesn't detail every single step, but often it's about nailing the fundamentals quickly, fixing technical SEO issues, maybe finding high-intent keywords they weren't targeting, building some good quality links fast, and winning gold at the 2024 AVA Digital Awards for this campaign really backs up its effectiveness.
Right, tying an award straight to a client outcome. What about the plumbers? 24-hour Melbourne plumbers.
Different kind of business local service. Their local SEO and PPC work was key. Led to over 8,000 inquiries, even during lockdowns. Got a 112% increase in daily visitors. And here's the kicker. They expanded their fleet from just 1 van to 9 trucks. That's direct business growth.
That's tangible impact right there. And the University of Melbourne project, Melbourne Connect.
That showcases their web development side. Built a custom WordPress platform focused on high functionality for managing content and integrated serious security with partners like Akamai and AWS. Enterprise-level stuff.
And Dynaflow was mentioned as long-term client.
Yeah, over 5 years they've been partners. And the client quote in the report is pretty powerful. So they saw more growth in those 5 years with Xugar than in the previous 20 years combined.
Wow. That says a lot about sustained impact. Looking at the aggregate results across clients, what stands out?
The overall numbers are compelling. They report an average 166% increase in local leads for clients and a 226% average increase in overall revenue.
And that one specific client, over 800,000 first-page rankings, generating over $41 million.
Yeah, those are significant figures. Shows the strategies are translating into real business growth, not just vanity metrics. Really underlines that they seem to tailor things and deliver measurable outcomes.
Beyond the client results, the report listed a bunch of awards, mostly from 2024.
It's a strong showing. That AVA Digital Award we mentioned. Winners at the Web Excellence Awards, winners and finalists at the Australian Small Business Champion Awards and the Business Excellence Awards. Winner at the Local Business Awards, too.
And Xugar himself got a Digital Growth Pioneer Award.
Exactly. What's noteworthy is just the volume and variety, International ones like AVA, national ones like the Small Business Champion, all landing around the same time.
In such a crowded digital space, why does this kind of validation matter so much?
Well, anyone can say they get results, right? Awards from reputable third parties are like external proof points. They recognize specific achievements. For a business trying to choose an agency, awards offer that bit of vetted credibility, helps cut through the noise.
Let's circle back to that human-first idea and the culture. Sethi's vision is clear, but the report also seemed to emphasize the team.
It does, yeah. Client testimonials apparently often praise specific team members by name. Dorian, Amshu, Aaron were mentioned for being responsive, for their expertise. Highlights the importance of the actual people interacting with clients day to day.
Which links back to that structure we talked about, having specialists the clients can actually talk to.
Precisely. And it feeds into their whole operational philosophy. Beyond human first, transparency, partnership. They explicitly say, Speak to experts, not sales agents.
That sounds like they're trying to cut out that initial high-pressure sales pitch, get clients talking to the people doing the work sooner.
That's the clear implication. Build trust, have productive conversations from the start, and complementing that is the strong emphasis on clear communication, explaining things in layman's terms, which clients really seem to value.
That must be a massive relief for businesses feeling lost in all the jargon.
Definitely. Helps manage expectations, builds confidence, lets clients make informed decisions. And underpinning all this is that reliance on data. They call themselves people-focused, data-driven growth specialists.
That's an interesting balance. Human element plus rigorous data.
Suggests data isn't replacing the relationship, but it's the essential tool they use to guide and optimize everything. Data is key for finding what works, proving reach, delivering those measurable outcomes we thought.
And they follow a structured process, right? Iterative.
Yes, they talk about a cycle: research, analysis, strategy, implementation, checking results, then refining, repeating. That loop is crucial for continuous improvement in digital, adapting based on what the data shows.
So how does this overall culture, human first, transparency, expert chat, data focus, iteration, become a competitive advantage?
It builds a foundation for strong relationships based on trust and visible value. When clients feel heard, understand things, see results, they're satisfied. That drives referrals, good reviews. And a culture valuing expertise likely attracts and keeps good people who do better work. It seems like a positive feedback loop.
Okay, pulling it all together. What are the unique selling propositions, the key things that set Xugar apart, according to this report?
Looking at everything, a few clear USPs stand out. First, definitely the results-driven, measurable ROI focus. They're explicitly about tangible results, calling themselves ROI-based engagement specialists. Those lead and revenue stats back this up.
It's about impact, not just doing stuff.
Exactly. Second, the data-driven, tailored strategies, emphasizing customized approaches from client data, not generic templates.
Which makes sense given the results across different types of businesses.
Absolutely. Third, that holistic all-under-one-roof model. Seamless integration of SEO, PPC, web, social, visuals. Simplifies things for clients. Ensures, as they put it, every campaign works together seamlessly.
Takes away the complexity of managing multiple vendors.
Right. Fourth, this blend of innovation meets execution. They talk about combining tech and ideas to exceed goals, deliver success you didn't know was possible. It's ambitious, but the case studies lend it weight. Fifth, the focus on transparency and long-term success, prioritizing sustainable growth, ethical transparency, not just quick fixes.
Sixth, the award-winning agency status, that external credibility we talked about.
And finally, the expert-led communication. That promise to speak to experts and the consistent layman's terms feedback builds trust, empowers clients.
So for you listening, these aren't just buzzwords from a report. These USPs seem to directly tackle common frustrations businesses have with agencies' no clarity on ROI, hassle of multiple contacts, confusing jargon.
Which raises a good point. If these are common frustrations, then agencies that nail transparency, communication, integration, and results are likely the ones delivering real value. This gives you specific things to look for.
Let's look ahead then. What's Xugar's take on the wider market, the future of digital, based on the report?
Well, Sagar Sathi seems vocal on major shifts. A big one is the coming cookieless future, with Google phasing out third-party cookies.
That's a massive deal for online advertising. What's his prediction?
He forecasts real challenges. Potential for online retail prices to rise maybe up to 25%, because ad costs could go up for businesses trying to target effectively without cookies. He stresses that businesses have to adapt their tracking and targeting. Xugar positions itself as a guide through this.
A 25% price rise. That would affect everyone, businesses and consumers.
It would. They also highlight evolving consumer behavior and fragmentation. Consumers are savvy now, using tons of platforms. So businesses need a truly diversified presence, smart budget allocation across all the places their customers actually are.
Can't just be good at one or two things anymore. Need that integrated approach.
Precisely. And linked to that, they warn about the ineffectiveness of outdated strategies, saying a huge chunk of businesses, maybe up to 70%, some figures suggest might be wasting marketing budget on tactics that just don't cut it anymore.
That's a scary thought, money down the drain on old methods.
Underscores the need for agencies to keep up and for businesses to ask tough questions about their current approach, which ties into their emphasis on the importance of data and analytics. Sophisticated data analysis is now critical, they stress, for making smart decisions, finding the best engagement points, optimizing constantly.
And it's clear they get pretty technical with understanding Google algorithm changes. The report mentions analysis of leaks, concepts like nav boost, neural search ranking, page quality, site focus score, image quality.
Yeah, they definitely seem to be digging into the deep signals Google uses. Understanding things like page quality or how user navigation nav boost impacts rankings is crucial for serious SEO now.
So challenges like the cookieless future, fragmentation, algorithms, they're real hurdles.
There are significant hurdles, yeah. But Zugar's perspective seems to be that these also create opportunities for those who prepare. Their proactive stance, thinking ahead on things like cookies, their data focus, understanding trends. It positions them to guide clients through the uncertainty, not just react to it.
Okay, so summing up this deep dive on Xugar, key takeaways.
We've looked at an agency that presents itself as very results-driven, transparent, comprehensive, rooted in that human-first philosophy. And this seems validated by client results and those industry awards.
We've seen their model integrated services, data focus, clear communication, aiming for long-term growth, not just quick wins.
Connecting it back to you, the listener, understanding an agency like this gives you a valuable framework, helps you ask the right questions when you're looking for a digital partner. About transparency, ROI measurement, communication style, integration, their whole philosophy.
All right, helps you think about your own business's strategy.
Right.
How transparent are you demanding your partners be? How are you measuring success? Are your digital efforts truly working together?
Yeah, and it leaves us with a final thought, really. As this digital world keeps changing so fast, especially with huge shifts like the cookieless future coming, how vital is it to partner with agencies who aren't just doing digital marketing today, but are actively thinking about and preparing for tomorrow? What does being truly digitally ready actually mean for your business right now?